Hi there team, Coach Alexa here. I've had a question in on my series of feet at the moment, so I'm just going to take this video to answer that question who came in from Paul. He's been saying that he's getting into his running, he's running between 2 and 4 miles at the moment, bought himself a new pair of running shoes and they're causing a little bit of an issue with a kind of hot spot under the ball of his left foot. Unfortunately he didn't have a chance to try the running shoes when he bought them, so he's just noticing now that he's kind of getting into his running a little bit more. I would suggest that this is possibly down to the fact that nobody has exactly the same size feet, so one foot is often slightly bigger than the other, and it's often the right foot, particularly if we're slightly more right leg dominant. The right foot might be slightly longer or larger than the left foot. So it might be the fact that the left foot is a little bit smaller and is moving around in that shoe. So as we run, we want the shoe fit particularly around the arch and the heel to be relatively snug, lots of room at the toe box like I've talked about in previous videos. But if you've not quite got a snug enough shoe, your foot will just slightly move forward and back, and hot spots are caused by friction and will lead to eventually to blisters. So when that hot spot is right underneath the ball of that foot, it's normally because it's rubbing either sideways or more often forwards and back inside the shoe. So the best fix with this, probably the most expensive one, is to go and get a properly fitted pair of running shoes that you get the chance to run in on a treadmill or in the shop before you leave out the door with them. It might be that he's bought from somewhere that has a trial period. A lot of online running stores do. You can send them back within 30 days if they're not working with you, even if you run in them. So if that's an option, that might be something to go down. If you don't have the inclination or the money to invest in another pair of running shoes, it might be that a sock choice could help a little bit. Either slightly thicker running specific socks to just increase this amount of snugness and fit around that foot. Maybe double layer socks, so you can get socks that have got 2 layers built in, so that then the layers between the 2 bits of fabric provide to absorb some of that friction, as opposed to it being between foot and sock. Lacing can help, making sure maybe the laces at the bottom of the lacing system nearer the toes are a little bit tighter, again to avoid that foot moving around as much, and perhaps a little bit of lube, something like Body Glide underneath the foot, things to try. Paul mentioned in his message about maybe getting insoles as a potential fix. So what insoles do is basically kind of reduce another layer inside the bottom of the shoe. So they reduce the amount of distance between the sole of the shoe from your foot's perspective, what your foot is sitting on, and then the top of the shoe that goes over the top of the foot. It's not going to change the amount of room that your foot has in the shoe to slide back and forth or potentially side to side though. So I'm in 2 minds about whether or not insoles will help in this situation. And there are also insoles and insoles. You can get, kind of generic-y cheap ones off the internet. And there's something that I don't like suggesting to people unless they've gone to somebody to get properly assessed for the right insole for the right foot, because everyone's feet are different. And also there can sometimes be a bit of a conflict between what the insole is trying to do and what the sole that's built into the running shoe is trying to do. So insoles can be another variable that changes things, adds and or moves loading. So I'd maybe try all the other stuff first, and if you're thinking of going the insole route, maybe it's worth just thinking about getting a different pair of shoes. Anyway, I hope that's useful for Paul. I hope that's useful for you all. Just a few thoughts and ways that we can, adjust to the setup that we've got of our feet, of our shoes, of our laces, and all of those other things that we can do to help. Hope that's useful.